Hello, boys and girls. Today we have two special guests that you may have recognized from the movie Fox and the Hound. And they are here to help us do our project for today. What are we going to use?
Leaves.
We are going to do leaf craft. And we are going to experiment with all different kinds of leaves and different ways of using them. But first I'm going to introduce you to our guests. This here is
Todd.
How old are you, Todd? The same age as what? As this guy, what's your name?
Copper. And I'm a hound dog. And gosh. And my name is and my name is Copper.
All right. Okay, no more improv. Okay.
Come over here and clip the leaves like this. This first one.
So some of our favorite leaves that we collected are,
Ferns.
yes, can you show me your fern, Todd? And they make really pretty pictures and they adhere nicely to the paper. These are little pieces of arborvitaes and those also work very nicely. What about this one that looks like a tree star? That is a maple. There's lots of different kinds of maples out there, so you might actually end up picking out a couple different kinds. They might have little variations in the leaves, but what we're looking for in the leaves that we choose is a nice strong skeleton in the back. And this strong skeleton is going to help us to create a nice leaf rubbing. And when we do our pressed flowers on the watercolor, we're going to look for leaves that are more pliable. This is a hydrangea and it has nice spines, but they're not as raised up and rigid as the redbud. So you will find out from doing this what kind of leaves work best. But sometimes you just have to try different things, right? And then we will figure out the best way to do it. But I have done a couple with Todd and Copper, and we figured out a couple tricks that we will show you in the rest of this video. And is there anything you want to say to the rest of the class? Did you have fun doing this craft with your class?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Lay your leaves under the paper. In a design, use one leaf and move it around to create what you desire. You can let the leaves go off the paper and/or overlap them. If you've ever done a crayon rubbing, this is no different. We are just going to use a white crayon instead of chalk or pastel. We will hold it to the side and we will start to cover the entire paper. To make sure our rubbing comes through, use your hand to feel where the leaves are. Now it's time to paint. Let's have some fun. Choose a warm color palette or a cool one. The warm colors would be red, yellow, and orange. The cool would be purple, blue, or green. You can choose any colors that you want, but I would recommend staying away from black and brown. It is important to cover the entire paper. This will allow your ghost image to pop out. If you're using a lightweight paper, keep in mind that you don't want to use too much water because you will make a hole in the paper. But you want to keep your colors loose and able to run together so that you can have a nice blending technique. Work quickly and lightly. Keep trying. If the first one doesn't turn out how you want it to, do another one. If you would like to experiment with oil pastels, paper weight, or liquid watercolor, you can also try that as well. Heavyweight paper is recommended in this project because the color and the water will absorb into the paper for the print to be exposed. We will be working with color washes to replicate the beauty found in nature with this botanical printmaking technique. The paint needs to be applied quickly, and make sure that it has enough water so that you can lay the leaves into the puddles of color to create this technique. Do not try to be too careful or try too hard to make it perfect. Nature has done most of the work for you already. While the paint is wet, lay the pliable leaves down in a pattern that you like. Hopefully you find some interesting shapes. If you run into any problems with certain leaves, do not hesitate to take the leaf off and replace it with a new one while the water is underneath. Once laid down, you may need to add a bit of color on top, just to emphasize the leaf. Please allow your picture to dry completely before you take off the leaves. The moisture can sometimes stay underneath the leaves longer than it seems like the paper takes to dry. Carefully pull all the leaves off of your paper and reveal your stunning new painting.
E-I-E-I-O. And a rah there and a rah there, everywhere rah.
In this segment, I will quickly teach you how to draw a tree. To draw a basic tree, Start with the base. 2 straight lines with a wider bottom will create a trunk. Begin by putting a V shape into your tree. You may start at the middle, or you can have them on each side of the base. You will continue to create the V shape over and over into the branch structure as you decrease the size of the branches. Let's continue this process until you get the hang of making the V shapes within your tree. Experiment with different sizes of branches, fat, skinny. Once you're finished with your tree, we're going to make a palm-sized foil ball. We're going to dip it into our fall colors on our plate. Get ready for the fun part. We're going to tap our foil ball onto our tree and make fall leaves. You can have the leaves falling off the tree, you can have them on the branches, but this is the time to have fun. This project is really fun, and it shows us that anyone can be an artist. We can think of all kinds of ways to use this technique and make new, different kinds of paintings. But this one is special because it's just for fall. Make sure that the black paint you painted the tree with is completely dry before applying the next layer. With the extra paint and the extra leaves, we're going to do one more project. We're going to make a leaf print. In this project, you're going to paint the front side of the leaf. Once you have your leaf painted, you can press it on a clean sheet of paper. Now let's take some of the concepts that we learned today and put them all together. We have reused some materials and we are learning how to draw a tree and make leaf prints. Find some different ways to embellish your prints. You could use buttons, glitter glue. You can turn them into all kinds of different pieces of artwork. Here we're going to cut up our print, and then we're going to use it to make a card. Glue your print down and get creative with your design, just like we did with the other prints. We hope that you enjoy having an adventure outside, looking for leaves and painting with watercolors. We hope that you get a chance to make something nice, like a card, and you can send it. We also wanted to say that it was a really, really fun time getting to enjoy the last part of summer, right? Right before the fall. And then all the leaves are gonna fall off of the trees and they'll be all crunchy. So this is a good craft for us to be able to enjoy the last part of summer. Did you guys want to say anything to the kids?
Bye.
Bye. Show your picture. Pull your picture up like this. Bye. See you next week.